Aloha. My name is Jonathan with Hilo Bay Realty, and I am an agent and a broker, and I am doing an interview with Niki Hubbard with V.I.P Mortgage. Welcome, Nikki. Hope you're doing well today.
Morning, Jonathan. Doing good.
So, to get this interview started, I have some questions that I think some of our viewers would really be interested in. And one of the first question is, what is the status with the mortgage industry, and what is the status with mortgages in general?
Oh, okay, that's a super good question. I'd like to say that it is pretty close to business as usual with a few underwriting guideline changes. And so what happened? It's a big event. Obviously, coronavirus has made a change in the industry, no doubt. But lenders are still operating. We still have loans that we can write. And so some of the guidelines that have changed that are important to note would be government loans have increased the minimum credit scores. And so VIP is watching all of our investors and the changes daily. And so where some customers used to be able to be qualified with a pretty low credit score, that's not currently the case. But many of the changes that have happened do have a expiration. So some of them would be mid-May and others don't have a posted date yet. But those things will come back into the market as this settles down. There are a few programs that are no longer available, for example, in the jumbo sector and some of the non-conforming loan products. So you might not see those right now, but again, when this settles down, those should also come back into the market. So I can still pre-qualify customers. I can still write and lock loans. So if anyone is interested in getting qualified, they can still do that. So yeah, just reach out.
So you hear the media talk about rates as being really low, and it's the lowest they've been for a long time, as well as then you're going and seeing the rates have just gone back up. So can you kind of touch on how rates went down and then it went back up? It seems like it's like the stock market.
Yeah. So I think this is a fun topic. Usually, when you watch mortgage rates, if is bad news in the market, in say in the stocks world, then the rates would be better. So that's kind of looks bad, but when there's bad news in the market, rates get good. And there was bad news in February where the virus was out and causing global unrest, and so the rates got really low and record low actually, but only for a brief period of time because then the pandemic really took started taking off and spreading, and it was bad news across the board. And so lenders didn't had so much volume of refinances from that short period of time where there were record low rates that they were also in the background losing money in some of the different ways that they invest their money in mortgage-backed securities being sold. So they stopped offering those great rates. And then the news said, rates went back up. But I was talking to a friend and they were like, how high did they go? Like to 12% or 5%? And honestly, they went to the mid to high fours range. So still record low. And historically speaking, and I've been in the industry for 10 years, when I look at it, I have a chart shows back to 1980s and rates were in the 18%, 12%, and then they've been creeping down, and in the 4 to 5 range for the recent past. We're still historically low, so the rates are changing daily. You could see, the news say really the rates are great again, and then the next day they could be poor again. And you could also see a difference in depending on your lender, difference between banks and brokers, and so it just depends on the channel, but it is still rates are still good, historically speaking. They're just not the best they've ever been anymore. That was just a brief period of time, February, March.
So do you think rates will go down even lower with so much liquidity in the market being flooded by the Federal Reserve?
So the current opinion is that rates are going to continue to be good. The rate offer for that rate is going to continue to change until it's all settled down. So there will be low rates available, but they may have a greater cost associated with them than before this pandemic happened. And so the more time that passes, then that will also come down where the rate is good and the cost for that rate is also affordable. So I think that, yes, rates will continue to stay low from what I've been monitoring from the different sources that, watch the market. And I think that it's not a bad time to look into any investing or refinancing for customers.
So I've been thinking about refinancing my house, as well as I've got another house that I've been thinking about getting a loan against, just because the rates are so low. I've heard one buyer that just bought a house, they got a rate of 2.75, and I thought that is super low. And I was like, well, if I can get that anywhere close to that, I mean, that's practically free money. When do you think people should start applying if they want to refinance or get a mortgage on a property that they already have? I guess that's refinancing. So yeah.
Yeah. We would encourage customers who are looking to potentially refinance and take advantage of these really low rates to apply right away and let us know what their target is for where that refinance would make sense. Is it dropping the rate by 1%, or is it saving $400 a month, or is it both? And so that way we can watch for them and see if because the rates are still going up and down on a daily, which is not how it usually is. We'll just make note of that target, have their application ready, and as soon as we see it where it's that sweet spot, then we can lock it in quickly and then start the rest of the loan process. But if they wait and they heard that the rate was great today, then they turn in their stuff, and then we're ready tomorrow, it might not be the same rate anymore. So yes, turning in and getting ready to apply for a refinance right now is recommended. And it may not be that we actually proceed until later, maybe next week or 2 weeks, but at least we have everything set up and ready to go to, at the moment's notice, lock that in when it's great.
Well, cool. It definitely is changing market landscape, and I'm amazed at a lot of people don't have jobs, but it's like you have too much work. So I hope you're keeping sane and you're doing well. So, what is the best way for people to get a hold of you if they do have further questions?
We are all working from home, so trying to obey the stay-at-home orders. We can be reached by phone and email. I also have a website, but cell phone 808-936-7673. My email is nicoletteh at vipmtginc.com. And my website's nicolettehubard.vipmtginc.com. So hopefully Jonathan can put that in the notes somewhere.
Yep, I'll put it in the description so that way then people can get a hold of you directly. So again, thank you, Niki, for all the time you've given us. And again, if anyone wants to reach out to her, I'll have her information in the description. And thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Niki, and have an amazing day. Aloha, my name is Jonathan. I am a real estate agent and broker on the Big Island. Thank you for watching my videos, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Mahalo. Oh yes, those are actual whales off the coast of the Big Island. Hui ho, until we meet again.